Hi. Ooh, it's still being quite the moment. Do you believe that you get back what you put out there? That's always been sort of a core of my belief system, but it sure hasn't felt that way this summer. The song that I've woven into this podcast is by Priscilla Ahn, A-H-N. It's called Dream. I don't have permission, so this may not stay up long, but it is a gorgeous song, and it connects me to my inner child. I see her heart. I see 8-year-old Amy's heart, and I understand that we get tested. That's just part of the deal, especially if you're on a spiritual path. So I guess what I want to do here is talk about faith.
I was a little girl alone in my little world who dreamed of a little home for me. Played pretend between the trees and fed my house gas sparking leaves and laughed in my pretty bed of green. I had a dream that I could fly from the highest swing. I had a dream.
I have found that it is in those tests that I uncover my core. My heart gets ripped into 1,000 tiny pieces, and I get to see and feel the weight that has forged me into who I am. And you question it. You question everything. And then you give it up. You simply give it up. You give it to Source.
Long walks in the dark through woods grown behind the park. I asked God who I'm supposed to be. The stars smiled down at me. God answered in silent reverie. I said a prayer and fell asleep. I had a dream that I could fly from the highest tree. I had a dream.
Each time my life has been brought to zero, it's led to radical transformation. And when I look back at those times, I can see the gifts in the ashes. Those are the flames that set me free from the thing that wasn't serving me. When you get released into the void, it's up to you to decide if you want back out. And this is the place where addiction typically takes hold if you let it. It's also a moment of magic and creation. It's the exact same moment when you get to dig deep and lean on your faith and trust. Trust that it's all happening for you. Trust that it's allowing you to step into the life you are meant to live. It's the path of living your soul's purpose. It's the time where that voice inside you that is begging you to do the thing that you came here to do. And it's really hard. Listening to that voice requires an incredible level of bravery and courage, and then acting on it is just like a whole other thing. And the spiritual path is a lonely one. It's not easy, and that's just true. I'm gonna disappear for a bit, both here and in the 3D world. I need to allow myself to become, and I have no idea what my life looks like on the other side. That is the terrifying part. It's the not knowing that begs me to hold on to my old life. Grief is acknowledging the death of a dream, releasing the dreams you had for this version of you that no longer exists, releasing the stories you wrote for yourself and allowing God to write your story now because you surrendered.
Now I'm old and feeling gray. I don't know what's left to say about this life I'm willing to leave. I lived it full, I lived it well. As many tales I live to tell. I'm ready now. I'm ready now. I'm ready now to fly from the highest wing. I had a dream.
Can I reach the end of this dream having realized all of life's potential? I was talking to my brother the other day and saying that I feel like I am Charlie Brown and everyone else is Lucy, just waiting to pull the football away. He laughed and said, yeah, but when you fly up in the air, instead of falling to earth, you do a few quick flips and stick the landing. Or an eagle swoops down and carries you to safety. And suddenly, that woe is me story I was telling myself gets transmuted. Because he's right. I'm flying through the air right now and trusting that if I just listen and surrender, I won't just land. I will float onto my highest and best timeline. I just need to take the very next action that is in alignment with my soul. As for this podcast, when this personal podcast laboratory called Magical Soup returns, which I think it might, but it'll be something completely new. My goal originally was to create intimacy through not using all of the classic podcast production elements. I wanted it to feel like it was just you and me. But my inner artist is awake now, and there's a desire to return to the craft of storytelling. I'm part of this private social network called the Dharma Artist Collective, and we meet online to heal our fractured focus and mend our brains and dedicate time together to work on our Dharma, creating that space so that we can listen to the muse and realize the thing that wants to come through. It's changing my life, and I will leave a link in the show notes if you want to check it out. It would be so fun to meet you in there. Like if you, that would be awesome. Like, hey, Fritz. But yeah, thank you for coming on this ride with me. It's been a practice of sharing what's in my heart authentically, which in itself was terrifying to begin with. And in fact, if I'm, I haven't been able to go back and listen to them. When I started this podcast 5 years ago, I had just begun to revel in the magic that I had started to see everywhere. And I was excited about learning the craft of podcast production. You can hear in like the first 4 episodes, right? Like they're just highly produced. But then COVID hit and Magical Soup kind of morphed into this audio journal of my spiritual path. And I guess I want to know that it all works out for her before I go back and relive the path she's taken. At any rate, you were gentle with me. And, with every kind word and with each time you decided to let me know you were helped by my words, it made it worth it. And if you signed up for my Patreon, you will always have a special place in my heart. But also cancel it because I don't know when I'll have anything to contribute. So, yeah. Goodbye for now, friends. Wish me luck. I'll see you on the flip side.